Skate 4, also known as Skate, has got me worried. What are some ways they might ruin it? As you probably already know, Skate is being designed as a free-to-play game, which has me terrified, because they wouldn't do it that way unless they thought they could get more than $70 out of any dedicated player, or else they would just sell it to you for that amount. And the things that they can do with it, I think in-game currency is going to be a very obvious one. You'll probably be able to buy gear and probably cameras, because they actually did that with Skate 3. If you bought the game new, it came with a code and you would unlock some cameras. If you bought it used, you'd have to re-buy that pack for another $10, I think, to unlock all those different cameras and things like that. So imagine you want to film a line with a VX. Okay, you're going to have to pay for it. You may have to buy storage. You know, maybe you can only store one trick, or one clip, so you have to buy tapes or hard drives or something like that in the game to add more space. That type of stuff I could see, but I'm not all that tempted to buy gear. I could imagine buying one outfit right off the start, just so I don't look like the default character, and maybe some cool boards. You know, in Pro Skater 1 and 2, they had the animated graphics and the ones that glowed, and that type of stuff is pretty cool. But out of me, you're not getting all that much. So maybe your board breaks and you have to buy a new board for it. Maybe your shoes get worn out. Maybe you tear a hole in your sock and you have to buy some more. I don't know, but I could see that being a problem, and I could see 5 more issues that could come up. First, no offline single player option. In the development update that came out, they talked about how they are working on a story right now, but they are still ironing out some of the details. And it has something to do with a group of skaters rebuilding San Amsterdam. But the problem is, you as one of many online players cannot be the main character. You aren't going to make that much of a difference. You can't save the day and this happens because there's a guy standing right next to you about to do that same quest. So you can't really affect the game like you could in Skate 3. In Skate 3, you made your own brand, and the better you did, the more you would see your brand stuff, you know, popping up on billboards, stickers being put on different skate spots and things like that. That just can't happen in an online game. My worry is that there's not going to be enough of a plot or a story to guide you through the events of the game. That it might just be quests that you do, you can grind them and do them over and over and over to build cash so you can do stuff. And that's a problem because Session exists. Skate is going to add some new tricks, we'll talk about that in a second, but it seems like the trick system in Session is going to be more in depth. So if you want to film a trick, you want to film a line, you might want to do it there. The thing that the Skate series has always excelled in is the authentic feeling events. You know, whether you're doing a competition jam, whether you're doing a photography challenge, it always felt like real skateboarding. And if that's not in place, that's going to be a problem. And most of the top comments in their video feel the same way. The second thing they could do is lock tricks behind paywalls. In the 2024 development update, they showed a couple new things. There's slappy grinds, firecrackers. There was a 720 flip showing that there's some kind of manual catch option going on. And there's some more stuff like that. But they could lock that behind pay. So it could be that they won't design any challenges that require you to do a firecracker, but if you want to do it in a line, you got to pay $5 to do it. Would you pay $5 to do a firecracker? I don't think I could do it. So time will tell if that is a problem. Skate 1 through 3, the way that it worked was everything was there to start. Your character was just as good in the beginning as he is at the end. It's you as a player who got better. And that is one of the best things about the series, where you feel like you are progressing as the player. And if they lock any tricks behind a paywall, it will lose that feeling. In the same vein, the third thing is locking events that happen in the city. They talked about major events going on, competitions and things like that, and I wonder how you enter them. Do you have to pay an entrance fee with your fake dollars that you can refill with actual dollars? Do you have to rank high enough to be able to qualify for it? Will it have to be at a certain time? Will I have to play an event at 10 a.m. because people overseas won't be able to have it be that late. Will I have to deal with all that stuff? I can't set my schedule around a video game. I strongly prefer having AI characters that I'm playing against offline, and it might take me 5 tries to get the gold. But if I'm playing against people who play the game all day and night, my gold run could end up being like 300th place. Fourth is timers. Now, you know that EA is looking into any way to make this game make as much money as they possibly can, and if you have played a mobile game, you know all about timers. If you run out of lives in Candy Crush, you have to wait some time to refill it, unless of course you have gems. If you built a new barn in your farm simulator game, you have to wait 2 actual hours to have it build, and I could see them doing this. You make your own skate park, you put in that pole jam, and the under construction sign comes up and you just have to wait, unless you want to pay for it. This would be pretty egregious in a console game, but being free to play, it's something that they've at least considered, and I really hope it doesn't happen. There's one more, but before we get to it, I want to thank Nick for submitting this topic. He went to radratvideo.com and submitted his questions on the forum there. If you have a topic for a future video, or you want to look hot in a Radrat shirt of your own, check out the website there, and hit the like button if you're enjoying the video. My last issue is that the game might be non-archival, and what I mean by that is that I can grab my original copy of Skate 2 off the shelf, put it in my PlayStation 3, and aside from a patch or an update, it'll play the way that it did when it first came out. Is that going to be the case with Skate 4? The answer is looking like no. In the development update 2024, they talked about how there are going to be seasons, which seem to be both actual seasons, like, you know, summer turning into fall, but also things changing in the world during those times. So this skate park will be shut down and will be replaced with something else. A new area of the world will open up. Maybe they'll close this one down and you have to wait till the next season to be able to see what happens in there. And that type of thing is a really good way to keep people interested in the game. If you've been playing for a long time and you log in one day and things are different, it'll be more exciting to be able to keep playing it. But I really like to replay old games. I've recently played through Pro Skater 4 on the PlayStation 1. Trick I learned last week. Ha! I didn't expect that to work, but it did. And I just love doing that, grabbing an old game that's long dead and just playing it the way that in the format that it was when it first came out, usually with some kind of twist, you know. But will that be possible with Skate? And the answer is probably going to be a no. And they could always put out a patch at the end where you can own the game in one form, but why would they even bother? I think that this game, when it dies and people stop playing it online, is just going to disappear. And I think that is a real shame. So those are my concerns with the game. I hope most of them don't happen, but I'm worried that at least a couple of them will. Do you have any concerns of your own, or do you think this game is just going to turn out amazing? Let me know in the comments.